Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Master Tarot. My name is Libby, and I'm thrilled to have you all along here with me today. Okay, last week I did a collaboration reading with the fabulous Danny Shea, although I was not wearing my bathrobe, so I do apologise for that. And we had a list of questions that we were wanting to go through, and even though we talked endlessly over an hour plus behind the scenes beforehand and afterwards, we barely scratched the surface. So what I want to have a look at today is a question that had come up during, one of the questions that had come up during the reading that we touched on, but it felt very unfinished. Now, those who know me know that I like to do I basically do a topic per reading. So I'll spend 20 minutes, half an hour on one particular topic, and I really like to throw the curtains back, peer in the window, dig up under the pot plants and have a really good look at a particular subject. And even then, I feel like I have skipped over so many aspects as well. So I do try to get as much out as I can on a particular subject, and sometimes I feel like I succeed, and sometimes I feel like I've, again, still barely touched it. So what I want to have a look at today, sorry, I get myself a little bit lined up. Yes, I'm in the lounge room. That means that the family are not here today. I have the house to myself, but it does mean I'm on the little wobbly card table. And the next house I build, I am definitely going to build myself an office. We built this prior to me doing these videos, prior to me deciding that this was what my life's journey was. So I did build myself a quite substantial office alcove off the main living area with big doors that shut, but it does have its back to the light, which is great for doing office work but terrible for tarot reading. So next build, I will build myself a dedicated office, because with my husband working from home and my daughter at university, they have taken over any spare office space. So that burbles out of the way. I do apologise. Those that know me know I tend to rant. So what I wanted to look at were the whales. Now, we barely touched on it to see whether it was sonar that was causing the issues, quite why were whales beaching, and I really felt dissatisfied with the answer. A few people had commented that they felt, and that science has also felt, that it may be the fact that our magnetic poles are looking at flipping for the first time in human history. So we're not quite sure how that's going to affect things. So I'll just run through the notes that I've made. I tend to glance over a subject and get the pertinent notes out rather than deep delving into my actual reading of it, so that the cards haven't been biased by my personal knowledge. It is actually what the cards are telling us. So the poles on the Earth, the North Pole, South Pole, the magnetic North Pole is usually up. The magnetic north is usually up at the north, towards the North Pole. It's off slightly, and it does move around, and we have to make adjustments if you're doing orienteering or something. But what it is it's the historically, the poles have flipped about every 300,000 years. However, science has been able to tell that it's been about 780,000 years since the last flip, so we are long overdue. Now, the magnetic North Pole is generated by the molten iron core, the convection of the molten iron core within the Earth rotating. And the way they can tell when the poles have flipped and when it's happened is that from volcanic eruptions, that when the lava flows and cools, the ion within the lava will set in the direction of the magnetic pole at that time. So they've managed to work out that it's been, well, give or take a few years, nearly 800,000 years, 780,000 years since the last flip. But from rock samples prior to that, it flipped quite regularly. Over the last 200 years, the magnetic pole has been actively weakening and shifting, and over the last few decades, this weakening and shifting has increased significantly. We don't know what it's going to do. You've got creatures like turtles and whales that use some form of, it is believed that they can sense the magnetic pole, and they use that for part of their guidance system, as well as sonar for the whales. But it is also suspected to really mess with technology, and we don't know what it's going to cause. What happens is the magnetic pole and the turning of the molten core puts this magnetic field around the Earth, and if you have a look at it, it looks sort of a bit like two kidneys together, shape around the Earth that protects the Earth from the solar waves that explode off the sun, and it also moderates our environment as well, so it makes it perfect environment for warm-blooded mammals and cold-blooded reptiles, etc., to live in our current world. So I want to have a quick look. First of all, I want to ask yes or no. Is this what is actually causing the whales? Now, I'm going to use my Light Seers Tarot today, and then I will use my intuitive. And I've waffled for 7 minutes. Goodness me, it felt like about 3, so I do apologise. So I just want to ask quickly, I find this science fascinating, are the whale beachings caused by, in part, the weakening and shifting of the magnetic poles? Jumped out at me. Queen of Cups, so this is all about the water. Those that are waterborne are more sensitive, and yes, it is quickening. It is quickening. But tell me yes or no, is this what is causing partially what is causing whale beachings, partially what is causing whale beachings? Now, I don't know about the rest of the world. I do know in Australia we have issues with our turtles at the moment. Our climate is warming up. I always say Australia is very much the canary in the coal mine, and turtle eggs, once they're laid, need to be a certain temperature, and that will determine the sex of the baby turtles. And we are finding that our turtles are being bred significantly female. So volunteers are actually keeping the eggs cool by watering the sand above them during that crucial period, trying not to disturb the nests themselves, putting shade over them, etc. So on that's a bit of a different topic, but tell me please, are the whale beachings somewhat caused by the shifting of the magnetic pole? Are the whale beachings somewhat caused by the shifting of the magnetic pole? Oh, falling out at me everywhere. I haven't shuffled this deck for a while, so it is a larger deck. Tell me please. Tell me please. Tell me please. Right. Tell me please. Right, that's it. Okay. For those that are learning tarot, be sensitive to your deck. Handle them as much as you can. They get a certain feeling when the shuffling is right, and sometimes it happens very quickly and sometimes it takes a while, as they are looking for the to bring up the particular card. Okay, so yes or no, Knight of Cups. So this is a knight. He is sensitive, intuitive. He is bringing forward an offer. He is making an offer of love, peace and harmony. We'll keep going with this. He is being challenged by, yes, murky underbelly, but not in this particular case. This is more about we know but we don't know. It is something that needs to be brought to the surface to be revealed, and basically it means we don't know what is beneath the surface and how it will affect us. We want to bring it up into the light. A lot of water in this card, and as I mentioned before, it will be the water creatures that possibly are most affected because they rely on these intuition factors, and birds as well for migration. But basically the unknown that will need to come to the surface is challenging it. Base of the reading is choices. Again, we don't know. We don't know what this will cause, except that, and this is in the past, and part of dealing with this particular card, this emotion, because this is anxiety, is being educated. And if you have a look up in the top here, you see this white dove amongst all those black crows. There is a white spiritual dove that is bringing hope and light. And that is about educating yourself, engaging with your intuition. But this is in the past, is the anxiety, I think, as we have become aware of this. Topping the reading is the Lovers, which is about working together. Oh, I'll just pause a moment and go and turn that phone off. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that, we were right in the flow too, but let's keep going with this. So what we've got here in the immediate future is the Judgment card, which is an inevitability. It is about an awakening and a call to arms. So it is an acknowledgement that this is happening. It is inevitable. There is nothing that anything on earth can do about it. And a call to arms to observe, to do what we can. But it is also about, okay, I'm being told, it comes back to the old adage of when this does happen, now it may not happen in our lifetime, it may not happen for another couple of thousand years, we don't know, but it will mess with technology, it will black out satellites, it will disrupt mobile phone services, it will cause electricity grids to potentially combust. I mean, we don't know. It may cause nothing. It might happen and the next day we'll wake up and go, hang on, where's north? Magnetic north. But it is about being aware, being intuitive to it, and this flip is inevitable. There's nothing we can do about it, but it's just being aware. Have extra food in your cupboard, have your bottled water, have a manually winding battery system for radios and phones, etc. like that. Just be aware, not alarmed, aware but not alarmed. The external influences is the Ten of Swords. Again, there's nothing we can do about it. It is just intellectually being aware that this is a time of change. This is a culmination and an ending of an era, and it will lead to the beginning of a new era. So in some ways it's quite exciting, so don't be alarmed by it. But also in this card, she's at the crest of the hill, and on the other side where she's heading towards is fabulous light. So it's also a positive card, heading towards the dawn. The internal influences is strength. So this is just being about inner strength. Don't let anything alarm you. Just acknowledging that what is what is, and what will be what will be. You can worry about it, but it will change absolutely nothing. Just going with the flow. But it's about inner strength. It's about compassion. It is about taking control of your own life, and just being powerful with your compassion in your own way. Hopes and fears, Knight of Wands. It's a fairly benign. This is very much about ideas aplenty coming to the fore, communication, messages, bringing messages of messages, communications, young, energetic, spirited. What this is telling me is this is all a bit of a storm in a teacup. Okay, I'm sorry, that was not what I planned on saying, but that was what I was told to say. Okay, the final outcome, Temperance. It's going to be okay. It is about grounding, both spiritually and physically. It's about moderation, but it's very, very much about rebalancing. Now, if you have a look at the two orbs that he is juggling, one is the moon and one is the sun from Earth. They both look the same size, but we know that they're vastly different, which means we are in a perfect zone, and it is simply a rebalancing of the Earth. Ace of Cups. It is the water animals that will be affected mostly. It is a new beginning for them. It is emotional, this new beginning, but it's also about creativity. So again, not a negative card. And then we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess can be secrets, but in this particular deck, she's very much a spiritual intuit. So engaging with her intuition on a spiritual level. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 major arcana across the top, working together, rebalancing, a new start, emotionally, relationships, creatively, and being engaged with our spiritual intuition. So 3 major arcana across the top there. We've then got 3 major arcana in the reading itself. It's telling us very much to take note. When you get a reading with a lot of major arcana in it, it is a way of the universe saying, take notice of this reading. On the base, we're getting the Emperor, which is unwavering strength. As those who do tarot will know, there are a lot of different subtle meanings, but in this particular one it's about unwavering strength. And he's almost reclined on, almost looks like Mars actually, of all the planets. I'm not quite sure why it would be Mars, but you've got this red energy, which is your base chakra, your root chakra, and to me it is the earth coming from your base, your very core beliefs, your who you are at your center. Three of Wands, which is about bringing something to fruition and things, a plan coming to fruition, but things are going to be okay. It's going to be okay. In this particular deck, the waters are calm, they look warm and inviting, and then we have 2 aces coming up together, the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. So again, powerful new starts, earth energy, fire energy. We have the water energy as well. So powerful new start. So what I'm seeing from this, it's not, it will happen, may not happen in our lifetime, so don't dwell on it, don't be alarmed. It's telling me it's not going to be that bad. It's going to happen. There's a lot of fear about it, but the fear is unfounded. So live your life. Make sure you have your emergency supplies on hand, because it might take, several days or a week for the electricity grid and the internet and all those bits and pieces to get back up again. But don't be alarmed. Now I just want to have a look. So the question was about the whales. I will just ask a secondary question. I'll use a different deck for that. Sorry, I don't want this to go on for too long. About the whales. So the question was will this magnetic flip affect, this is what is affecting the whales? And it wasn't conclusive that it was. I even said partially affect the whales, and it wasn't conclusive that it was. So I just want to have a look. It was very much, we don't know. We don't know, but it's not something to be alarmed about. So I just want to have a bit of a deeper look. I'm using my Gilded Tarot Royale here, because I do want to ask about the whale beachings. Are the whale beachings? Now, one thing to note is that since whaling was stopped in the Antarctic and many other areas of the world, the whales have made a fabulous comeback. Oh my goodness. We've gone from a few thousand to tens of thousands traversing up and down the Australian east coast. If you come to Australia at the right time, go whale watching, and they are there in bountiful numbers. And we also have albino. There's sperm whales on this east coast. There's an albino sperm whale called Migaloo, so look him up if you're interested. He's a handsome looking fellow, pure white. So he is so fortunate to be born in this era where he is protected. But yes, the whales are making such a comeback that there will be more whale deaths. There will be more whales washed up on the shore, and whether it's death through old age or death through shark packs or something, it may appear there are more, but it's simply because there are more whales. So, moving on to the second part of what I want to ask about this, are the whale beachings being caused by sonar? Submarine sonar specifically, are they in part being caused because the waterways are awfully busy, and we use sonar now for fishing, the giant trawlers, I didn't even think of those, but the giant factory ships that never dock, or dock once every 6 months or something, they use sonar. There's just so many things that use this technology now. Is it the sonar, not necessarily submarines, but shipping, aircraft, space technology? Is it the sonar that is causing, not all, but causing some factor of these whale beachings, please? 4 cards, please. 4 cards, please. Is it sonar? Is it sonar that is causing these whale beachings? Right. Come on down, let's have a look along with me. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I don't know if I need to go any further on this. Very much so. It is the interference of the abundance of the technology of man. Wow. And its effect on the world, which is causing anxiety. And there is a harsh truth about this. A harsh truth, and it is manipulation of the natural world. A manifestation. Okay, well, I think that very clearly was. There was no, okay, we're getting a message of truth coming forward, that we need to work together. We need to work together to investigate this. This is introspection, investigation, and seeing the light in the darkness. seeing the light in the darkness of this truth. Okay. Well, I didn't come up the other day when I was talking to Danny, so very much. Now, in this reading, I have, again, 1, 2, 3 out of 8 cards, 4 major arcana. So it is telling me, take note. This is important. This is information we need to know. So, yes, not so much the magnetic fields, but as the sonar. And it's not just the submarine sonar. It's all the forms of technology that impinge into our waterways. Okay, so be aware. Now I'm just going to do a quick story with my intuitive cards. This is the key as we go down. I do like to... The deck of these intuitive cards is getting fatter every time I read them, because I will be minding my own business and I will suddenly be told, we need these 2 more cards. We need these 2 more cards. Okay, so sit and meditate on what symbol to put on them, because I'm told literally just the meaning of what symbol to put on them that will mean something to me, and away we go. So please tell me the story about the whales beaching. What can we do about it? What can we do about it? Is it part of the natural process? No, I'm being told no. What can we do about it aside from being aware? I'm being told technology will change. So it is a combination of bringing forth, you know how we had the moon card and it was below the surface and it was not yet seen. It's about the knowledge of what is actually causing it being brought to the surface, identified, and technology will change. But we'll have a look at I was just shuffling there and I've had one turn back to front on me. Bullseye. Bullseye. So we need to encourage our professors, our university students, our marine biologists, our technology engineers. We need to encourage them to research this and come up with other solutions. So please tell me the story. Yes, other solutions. Sometimes it can be, it helps that apparently, I don't see Master visually. I hear him very clearly. Sometimes I can feel him, but usually I hear him. He doesn't yell at me. He just speaks in a forceful manner. If he feels I'm not listening, otherwise we have a good old laugh together. But it does help when he is being a bit forceful. That I have been told by my beautiful teacher Judy Sweeney, the one that helped me open up. She got the image of him and she was told he looks like a young Mel Gibson. So if you look at a photograph of Mel Gibson on the set of, Mad Max Thunderdome or something, I can forgive a lot for that. Never too old, girls or boys. Okay, back on topic. I'm too old for this off-topic stuff. Okay, back on topic. Tell me the story. Tell me the story with the whale beaching and what we need to do. Tell me the story of the whale beaching and what we need to do. Okay. Oh dear, I do go on tangents. I do apologise. Right. Ooh, transformation. First card out. That was what we were talking about. Transformation. It is time for the transformation. We at the moment our glass is empty and we need to get busy communicating. Blank card. The future is not written. Purposely blank. Transformation. It is time for the transformation. Before we end up with this empty glass, we need to get busy communicating, and it is not yet written. Dark clouds, alien. Okay. No, future. Sorry, I do apologise. It's not alien. There is the possibility that if we ignore it, these dark clouds will destroy the future of what we know. I'll move those along slightly. The trust and loyalty. Trust, okay, trust, yes, okay, I've got that, thank you. Trust is the key via rebalancing, weighing things up. There will be a eureka moment, a lightning strike in technology. Down and up. Oh, okay, contour each other out. There will be, it will take a little while. There will be projects that don't work, and then projects that do work, research that doesn't work, does work. No unity, okay. No unity of countries. I know this is my card for countries, and yes, I know it is in the country, but it is countries. This is interesting. Technology, noise on the technology, getting mad about this, getting mad and sad about this. No. The not unity. We need to make a noise via technology to get this message across. Because the people will be poorer. My poverty card. The masses will be poorer without it. Feminine energy. Oh goodness, again. Those who know me know I bring feminine energy up so often. The feminine energy will fill the cup as we work together and heal the health in celebration together. And do not be fearful of our oceans. Base, we've got murky underbelly, or just mud, just the murkiness. We need to take a leap of faith and flip the slow look back at the past. We need to avoid the cowardness and be brave and trust. Bring out the love. Okay, my intuitive card. So basically telling it is time to transform before our glass is empty. We need to get the message out that this is important. And there will be this eureka moment, this catalyst moment in the science, but it will be up and down, and because of the lack of country unity, it will take longer than necessary. So that was my intuitive reading on that particular subject. So I always try to emphasize the positive, and we have this taking of the bravery, flipping, and it is us as a people that can make the change. So thank you for joining me today, and we'll tackle one of those other questions tomorrow. If you've got any questions, please put them down below. Strength and love and light to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.